Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unity of Orange County. I'm Reverend Annie McCary, and we like to begin our service with our vision statement. And it goes like this: centered in divine love, we joyfully co-create a world that works for all. And our mission is to awaken, inspire, and transform lives. And I would like to take this opportunity now to give thanks to the people that make this service possible today. We have Bill on piano, Bill, John, and Matthew streaming, Waverly on video, and Tom doing the sound. Reverend Allison is our speaker for today, and myself, Reverend Annie McCary, I will be doing the daily word and the meditation. A couple more announcements that we have. Today at 11 o'clock, we will be having a town hall meeting to discuss the survey, the latest from our Orange County governor. And afterwards, the Zoom meeting that we will have is, that number is 859-1151-5936. You do not need a password, and we do hope that you can join us. On Sunday, July 26th at noon, we will be having a summer book club where we will discuss the book Joshua, a modern-day parable by Joseph Gerzon. Please read the book prior to the meeting. This book reading club was postponed a week due to our town hall meeting. Did you know that instead of going to Amazon, you can go to SmileAmazon.com and put in Unity of Orange County, and we get a percentage of whatever you spend? Prices on Smile are the same as regular Amazon and Prime membership. It also applies. It is a painful way to future support our spiritual community. If you are enjoying our videos, it would be much appreciated if you would click on the like button. And also, if you subscribe to our channel. And also, please share this video with any friends or family that you think might be interested in our message. And if you would like to share a gift with us, you can text a donation to 7797, and then the message Unity of OC, give. And again, I'll repeat that. Unity of OC, GIVE. You can give a one-time gift or a recurring one, and it's all appreciated. And so, reading from the Daily Word this morning, Sunday, July 19th, 2020, thought togetherness. I share God's love, peace, and joy. While I treasure my time of quiet and solitude, I also look forward to enjoying the company of family, friends, and members of my faith community. Whether we're working, volunteering, praying, or simply enjoying one another's company, our shared experiences allow me to support people I care about and feel supported in return. I enjoy and value togetherness throughout every season of my human journey. During times of trials, hardship, or grief, being in the company of friends and family help comfort me and keep me strong. Likewise, during times of celebration, being in the company of others multiplies my joy. In times of togetherness, may the love, peace, comfort, and joy of God bless us all. And the scripture this morning is from Acts 2nd chapter, verse 44, and it reads, "All who believed were together and had all things in common." I share God's love, peace, and joy. And so let us move now into a time of meditation. And so we just pause for just a moment, sensing and knowing that right where we are, the presence of God is. And knowing that this day is a day that God has made, and we are rejoicing and glad in it. So I invite you to take a moment to look back, reflect on before your day began this morning. If you can see yourself waking up early this morning, feeling refreshed after a wonderful, restful, peaceful night's sleep. And can you just imagine a beautiful sunrise, the rays of the sun shining upon you before you even get out of bed? And can you imagine each one of those rays of sunlight is the presence of God, the power of God, the activity of God, saying to you, "You are my beloved, whom I am well pleased." And as my beloved, see the rays from the sunshine as answers to all of your prayers. And with every ray of sun, you give your prayer requests to God. Ray after ray after ray of sunshine pouring down on you, taking in your request, even before your day began. And as you lie in bed, seeing all of your troubles just go up to the universe itself, knowing that before you make the request, the prayer is already answered. And before you even get out of bed this morning, God itself has already prepared the day for you. All you need to do is rise out of bed in this feeling of joyful anticipation, knowing that all your cares, all your worries have vanished into the sunlight. And God is right where we are. So as we take a moment to go into the silence, hold this vision of all of your prayers, all of your troubles, all of your trials being lifted up and transformed and transmuted into their spiritual expression.
Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Orange County. This morning I'm very blessed to be giving Reverend Arlene the day off, and so my talk today is titled, A Simple Act of Gratitude. I always like to look at what they've come up with for the visual. That's beautiful, thank you. So I began to think that as we continue to see the world change and shift, and really it's shifting, I want to say daily, but it's probably more like hourly. It's shifting all the time now. Maybe we should step back and go back to a simpler time. In fact, if you think about it, since March, if you kind of go backwards a little bit, at least for me, I've already kind of adopted that. That's been occurring for me. Because what I've noticed through Facebook or just speaking with friends and family, we're back to baking bread from scratch. We're cooking meals and eating at the table with our families. When was the last time we did that before March, right? We're doing puzzles. I've done several already. I have one that I'm not willing to break open yet. It's a 1,000-piece Minnesota Vikings puzzle. And so it's all the people in the stadium. So I'm like, I don't know if I haven't broken that one up yet. But we're also doing, we're playing board games with the family and with the kids. And we're going for walks. And we're reading more. We're just doing a lot of amazing things that we maybe hadn't done in a while when our fast-paced world was going at that rate that it always did. And blessedly, what I've noticed also is that, shelters are getting cleared out as people are staying home and they're adopting pets for companionship. And when I read that, it just warms my heart so much that that's happening. So, we have to find the good in the turmoil there a little bit. And I noticed also that gardening has taken a resurge. People are planting their own vegetables, and every day I'm getting posts of these beautiful tomatoes and cucumbers, and I'm like, yeah, bring them over, just leave them on the doorstep. We're growing our own food. Again, something we haven't done in a while. So hopefully, also amongst all of this, people are spending just maybe a little more time in spirituality, a little more time, getting in touch with their spirituality. And so, while these are, I feel that there's tons of spiritual practices that we can take advantage of. One of my personal favorites is gratitude, and that's why I pretty much chose this talk for today. And there's this great art in living with gratitude and simple gratitude. It doesn't have to be big or grand, it's just simple gratitude. But the trouble with many of us is that we keep going in our minds, going back to all the things that are bad, instead of focusing on what's good. And it's not our fault. The human mind, it's kind of conditioned in this way to do that. So it's really not our fault. But we have, that we have no trouble seeing all the bad, seeing ourselves and the people and the troubles that we're having in the world. We have no problem with that. But there's the solution to this problem. Walter Houston, the great actor, was asked one time, what, in his opinion, was the greatest sentence in the English language? And this is what he said. Well, it's from an old Negro spiritual. Nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Glory, hallelujah. That is to say that we have plenty of troubles. We got them, but we also have an answer to it. And that answer is glory, hallelujah. So instead of saying to yourself that this is bad or that is bad or all these things appear to be bad, the thing to do then is to reverse that and start adding up all your blessings. Fix your mind on the things that are good and on the opportunities that you have, and then give thanks in a simple act of gratitude. And this is a universal concept to feel this way, just as it is a universal concept to change what we are experiencing by shifting to gratitude. So I heard a man, and he was relating a story, a sad story, of how his life had been unkind to him. And as I listened, just as important to what he was saying, it was what he wasn't saying that was coming through. His perspective was one that held everything in the negative. There were no positive affirmations coming from this man at all. And after a while, he was asked, if you could visualize your life as a glass, would it be half empty or would it be half full? And he quickly replied, without even thinking, without giving it any thought, well, that depends on what's in the glass. If it's something bad, then it's definitely better than half full. But if it's something good, it's going to be way below empty. So he was gently reminded that he might want to check his attitude meter. And he asked what kind of attitude he should be given the fact that his life was going on and it was really less than wonderful in his opinion. So it was suggested to him that if he was to just work on developing this attitude of gratitude, that his life would turn around. And it's really amazing how often people tend to focus on, what we don't have in life rather than what we do have. And we do have incredible good in our lives. And it's not just folk wisdom that tells us we should be focusing on the good in our life. It is an understanding of spiritual dynamics of the universe that only knows to increase the energy on which we focus, what we give our attention to. That's what the universe responds to. Remember, everybody, it's God's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. The reality is the universe doesn't know or even care if your glass is half full or half empty. That is the determination that we make. That is our humanness coming out. However, an attitude of gratitude will automatically bring with it a shift in your consciousness. And that says, I'm open to receiving with a grateful heart. And with that perspective, life has no alternative but to rush in and fill your glass and fill it with good. One of my favorite quotes by Maya Angelou is, when we give cheerfully and receive gratefully, everyone is blessed. And when I broke that down a little bit, I found it was an opportunity to look at gratitude in a couple different ways. One is where we feel the good that we receive. And the other, the one that's a little more subtle, is the feel the good that we extend to somebody else in giving cheerfully. And when we enter into this act of giving of our good to others and doing it with a sense of sincere gratitude for the fact that we have something to give, then it changes the entire dynamic of the experiences for everybody involved. I'm sure we've all kind of heard of the ripple effect. That if I see somebody doing good, then that affects me and that affects everybody that I come in contact with. So there's no better opportunity, I think, right now than to practice an attitude of gratitude in our giving and receiving than right now. Think about what St. Paul encouraged. In all things, give thanks. And the truth is, if we look deep enough, we will find blessings. Even in the things and in the events that's, on the surface, they might seem like they're negative, and we're definitely human, and we might judge them as being negative. So I found this story, and I wanted to share it with you. And it's an example of pure gratitude from a 14-year-old girl. And this young lady had been stricken with infantile paralysis, and it left her so crippled that physically she was practically helpless. She was unable to sit and only had partial use of her hands. But yet, at age 14, she was maintaining 10th grade studies. She could have kept adding up all those bad things that happened to her. Why did this happen to me? And filled her mind with self-pity, but she didn't. And as I read what she wrote in her journal, as I read it right now for you, ask yourself if you could write these things. And here's what she wrote. I think without a doubt that I am the luckiest person in the world, and here are the reasons why. I was given the most marvelous thing of all, the gift of life. And with it, the ability to reason right from wrong and remember all the happy moments of yesterday and to dream about all the possibilities of tomorrow. I was given 2 ears that I might hear the lovely sound of the brook and the happy song of the robin as on a beautiful spring day, and the sound of the rain as it cleanses and moistens the thirsty earth. I was given 2 eyes that would see, and I was blessed with this gift of sight so that I am able to see the great beauties of nature. I had the fortune of being born in a country where beauty is boundless, and we have the bluest sky and the greenest grass and the brightest sun in the world. But I don't always see with my eyes. I also see with my heart. And as I look around me on a summer day or on a winter day, I know God is near me. I see the divine in every flower, in every blade of grass, and in every snowflake that drifts across the earth. I have the most wonderful and understanding parents who ever lived. And if I regret mistakes that I made today, there's always tomorrow. There's another tomorrow, a new beginning. And I make a secret vow in my heart that tomorrow I will better myself a little more with understanding. I will be a little kinder and thus make myself worthy of the many blessings that I have been so graciously bestowed upon. So when we reflect on that, what is the old saying, out of the mouths of babes, right? So this seems really like a good time for me to take a moment and emphasize that once more, what you have your attitude on will reflect in what you are seeing in your world. It affects what happens to you. So if your attitude is one of gratitude, it will result in those blessings being abundantly received. And some of us may be experiencing at this time or sometime in the recent past what we perceive on our human level as hard times. Whatever that may have looked like, still give thanks for it. Because it's through these difficult circumstances that our souls have an opportunity to grow. And whatever life brings to you, the message is always give thanks. And as you do, then the greater things will come. You see, gratitude is really the great equalizer. It changes on what we focus on from negative to positive. And it redirects our thoughts, and it starts to impress upon us the universal law of good. And therefore, we receive then what we then put our attention on the most. So here's some simple ways that you can start to incorporate more gratitude into your life. And you don't have to do all of them. You don't have to do any of them. I'm just offering them as an opportunity that this might be a place to start. So referring back to Reverend Annie's beautiful meditation, thank you for that. In the morning, begin a gratitude practice. And whether you do it before you get out of bed or whether you're sipping on your first cup of coffee, just make a mental list at that time of what you're grateful for in that moment. For instance, the comfort of your bed, the warmth of your blankets, or right now, the coolness of your fan, the sun shining through your window. My personal favorite, the smell of that coffee brewing out there waiting for me to get up and get it. And then another good practice, which some of us may have let fall by the wayside, is giving grace before a meal. When we stop and give gratitude for a meal, we have an opportunity to thank those who grew it, who delivered it, who prepared it, and we can just look at that beautiful colors and all those wonderful things and just give gratitude for that. The source, because we know that the source is the ultimate source. It also makes us reflect on, it gives us a little pause to not just kind of dig in there and eat up. We have that moment to reflect. Another thing you can do is make a list of things that you might normally take for granted and start to list them and give thanks. Here's some examples. Toothpaste, hot running water, a roof over our heads, soap. And I recently saw a post on Facebook where they're taking all the used soap from hotels and then they however, sanitize it or do whatever they do, and then they make soap and they send it to third world countries who do not otherwise have an opportunity to have soap in their life. And we know, especially now, with disease being rampant, how important this one little life-saving thing is. So this particular instance of gratitude is literally saving lives. We all know to wash our hands, especially now, but when was the last time we actually just said, thank you, soap, for cleaning our hands and taking all these germs away? Another positive thing that I've done over the years is, keeping a gratitude journal. Remember, first of all, what you're grateful for, you'll get more of. And some people, we tell them, write 10 things down every day. And then, oh, I can't possibly think of 10 things. And then you say, and it has to be 10 different things every day. And you'd be surprised that you will always find more and more and more and more to be grateful for. One of my also favorite activities, and I actually talked to a lot of people when I was preparing this talk, and this one kept coming up as one of their favorite gratitude practices, and that's just to take a gratitude walk. And certainly walking has become the new wonderful thing that everybody is doing. You know what? And while you're out there, just start to be mindful. And then you can either verbally or silently give thanks for the wonderful things that you see. You know, the beautiful trees, the sun, the breeze. I've been giving a lot of thanks for the breeze lately. And, you know, just be mindful of what you see when you're on your walk. How about the tools and the gadgets in your life? Where would we be without our coffee makers and our hair dryers and our toothbrushes? And dare I say our cell phones and our computers? Right now we're Zooming like crazy, right? Thank you for computers. Here's another fun one. You can place a gratitude trigger somewhere prominent in your home. And it's just a, Post-it or whatever. Just a simple reminder to stop and give thanks for something in that moment when you see it. And then you can practice your ABCs. And the next time you find yourself stuck in a line or waiting at the doctor's for an appointment, just start to begin to say what you're grateful for, beginning with the letter A, and then starting to progress through the alphabet. And some of those letters toward the end might even give you a little challenge to find out what you're grateful for. Might be something fun. And then there's write thank you notes. John Kralik, in his book, titled the same as my talk, A Simple Act of Gratitude, he did just that. At a time in his life when he was at his lowest, and it's a wonderful book. If you haven't read it, please look into it. He found salvation in the simple act of writing a thank you note. And he vowed that he would write a thank you note every day for a year. Now, I'm not asking you to jump on board with that. And I did it after I read the book because I was so inspired. And you might not be ready to, bite off that much of a challenge. But what I'm suggesting to you is that simply writing thank you notes, if you're grateful to someone for any little thing, that handwritten letter or note, it's kind of become a lost art. And I say let's bring it back with a vengeance. And now that seems like a perfect time while you're at it, maybe write it in cursive. Another thing that we have been blessed to be taught with, and maybe we can bring that back as well, the resurgence of that. And just for few, these were some wonderful opportunities that you have, but just for good measure, let's throw in a couple scientific reasons for gratitude. Gratitude brings us happiness. It reduces anxiety and depression. It's good for our bodies. It helps us sleep better. It makes us more resilient. It strengthens our relationship. It promotes forgiveness. And it gives us an opportunity to pay things forward. So now you have this reason for gratitude, and you have some tools to begin with. So I wish to impart to you this. You simply will not be the same person 2 months from now after consciously giving thanks each day for the abundance that is your life. And you will have set in motion an ancient spiritual law. I believe it's called providence. The more you have and are grateful for, the more that will be given unto you. As Dennis Watley puts it, happiness cannot be traveled to, owned, earned, worn, or consumed. Happiness is a spiritual experience of living every minute with love, grace, and gratitude. And when we express gratitude, it puts us in the sacred of all life, not just in the moments when our life seems like it's going okay and everything is easy. Hey, as Sergeant Friday always said, just the facts, ma'am. So I've presented to you today the facts, spiritually, scientifically, and now it's up to you to give gratitude. Go ahead, give it a go. And I'd like to close with this poem that is titled, Be Thankful, and the author is unknown. If you want to just, close your eyes and take in these words, they're really beautiful, and I invite you to do that. Be thankful. Be thankful that you didn't already have everything you desire. If you did, what would be there to look forward to? Be thankful when you don't know something, for it gives you an opportunity to learn. Be thankful for the difficult times. During those times, you grow. Be thankful for your limitations, because they will give you opportunities for improvement. Be thankful for each new challenge, because it will build your strength and your character. Be thankful for your mistakes. They will teach you valuable lessons. Be thankful when you're tired and weary, because it means you made a difference. It is easy to be thankful for the good things. A life of rich fulfillment comes to those who are always thankful for the setbacks. Gratitude can turn a negative into a positive. Find a way to be thankful for your troubles, and they will become your blessings. This morning I give thanks for the gift of Unity of Orange County and for all these working behind the scenes to make this service possible, and for allowing me to bring you this message. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Allison, for such a wonderful talk, and thank you for those reminders. And thank you, Bill, for that amazing, inspiring music. At Unity of Orange County, we like to affirm Unity's 5 basic principles. Number 1, God is all good and active in everything, everywhere. Number 2, I am naturally good because God's divinity is in me and in everyone. Number 3, I create my experiences by what I choose to think and what I feel and believe. Number 4, through affirmative prayer and meditation, I connect with God and bring out the good in my life. And finally, I do and give my best by living the truth that I know I make a difference. And one way that we can give, especially to this community, is through giving. There are many ways to give to Unity of Orange County: through our website, our app, mail it to us, or text it to us at the number 77977 and type in Unity of OC Give. Whichever way you choose to give, we really appreciate it here at Unity. So I invite you to join us next week when Reverend Arlene will continue with the 12 powers, and we'll talk about the power of elimination. Again, remember to join us in our town hall meeting on Zoom by using the code 859-1151-515936. And now let us close with a prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watch over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you, and you have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed week.